right, so in this module, I'm going to show you how to identify an existing layout on a ball. Okay, so we have already gone through the process of finding the bowler's PAP. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a ball that's already drilled, that has no markings on it, and we're going to be doing a little bit of homework. So we have here, Sean, it's a beautiful profile picture here, okay? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to retranscribe the PAP, okay? So on an existing ball, we will now draw the center line, find our grip center to draw our midline. So again, halfway from the middle of the span, perpendicular line here, so 0, 0, so 0 here, 0 here. Draw your perpendicular line, and here we see 4 5/8 by 1 5/8. So from my grip center, I will be going 4 5/8, okay, so which is right here, and this is where my VAL is going to intersect my midline. So from the midline, I will now draw another perpendicular line here, and this one here, I am now going 1 5/8 up, so above the midline, so 1 5/8 here. So this here is my PAP. So now that we have identified that, like I said, we spent the time with the bowler out on the lanes, but now what we're trying to do is identify the layout on this bowling ball. Okay, for this example, we will be using the dual angle technique. If you use the VLS technique or any other technique, basically just use those techniques that we taught and just do them in the same fashion. So first thing that we're going to do is we are going to draw a line from the pin through the mass bias. If there is no mass bias on the bowling ball, you can just draw a line from the pin through the CG. In this case, they are perfectly lined up. So now that this is done, I will now draw a line from my pin to my PAP. And in essence, what this gives us is that famous N that we talk about in the dual angle technique. Okay, so I'm just going to double line these, okay, just so you can see. So here we have that famous N shape that we get from the dual angle. So all I did was just connect the dots. So now what we have to do is, as we all know, there are 3 measurements in the dual angle technique. First of which is the drilling angle, second of which is the pin to PAP distance, and third is the VAL to pin angle. So very simple. We will now take our prosect, place it with the 0 degree mark on that line, and we see here that it is 50 degrees. So it goes through the 50 degrees. So I can easily now write 50 here by pin to PAP distance is here about 3 3/8 by, flip the ball around, making it easier. So always stay on the last line that you drew. So I'm going back here, and here we see about 40 degrees. So this layout is 50 by 3 3/8 by 40. So very easy to identify an existing layout on a bowling ball. So let's say someone comes in and says, hey, I want something with a little bit more length. We can easily just take this angle sum, maybe give them a longer pin to PAP distance, and basically it's done. So this is a really nice and easy tool. If you are wondering what the layout is of that favorite bowler, you can now just remeasure it. The one thing that you need to know, however, is their PAP. So you cannot do this exercise without knowing the bowler's PAP. So step 1, find the PAP. All right, so right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to identify the existing layout on a drilled bowling ball using the Storm VLS technique. Okay, so first things first, what we need is we need to identify our bowler's PAP first. Okay, without this, we cannot do this. So we have here Sean's bowling ball. First step is that we will draw the center line. We will then find our grip center. So here we see 4-inch span. I will just go here to 2 inches. That is the grip center. From here, I will then draw a midline. So my midline is perpendicular to the center line. Then I will look at my PAP measurement, so 4 5/8. So from my grip center, I will now measure 4 5/8. And from here, I will draw another perpendicular line to the midline, which is my VAL, vertical axis line. And here I need to go up 1 5/8, so up being this way, So from here, I will go 1 5/8 up. So it is going in that direction. So the VLS technique measures 3 things. It is going to be the pin to PAP distance. So we see here, right here, we have 3 3/8. So I can write here 3 3/8 by. The second measurement is mass bias to PAP. So here we have 4.5 inches. So that's going to be the second line. And then the last line is perpendicular to the VAL. Perpendicular to the VAL, where the pin is, 1 7/8 from the VAL. So 1 7/8. So we see here a VLS layout of 3 3/8 by 4.5 by 1 7/8. So again, we showed you how to do this using the dual angle technique and now using the VLS technique. So whatever technique you like to use, in the end, it's just basically reconnecting the dots to whatever the reference point is of that layout system. Take a couple balls that are existing in your garage, take them out, grab a ball ring in your Prosect, and just go to town on them. It's a very simple process, something you could do at home, don't even need to be in the pro shop, and it's a good way for you to get used to looking at the layouts in a different manner. Because when you're looking at it on a blank bowling ball, you're doing things in a different flow, and doing it on an existing ball, same thing, just a little bit differently, okay? So it's a good practice, something that you could do at home, and also something to recatalog all the bowler's balls that you have in your system, throw them into Spectre, take pictures, log the layouts, and you're good to go. So I hope this course was beneficial to you. Please check out the next one. Thank you.